Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Captain Cool.
Hello and welcome in to a thirsty Thursday in no man's land. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman, Bailey, Larry, and oh boy, are we getting closer and closer to Friday night. Bandy, I am so excited. Football season's back. And as much as the people want to look forward to, there's college football this weekend. We love that. There's high school football in the North Alabama area. And, of course, there'll be 6 games that you'll be able to listen to on air, on our airways. And that's, of course, on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And let me break it down for you one last time before tomorrow gets underway. Buckhorn versus Decatur is going to be on 97.7. You can find it on your radio dial. If not, you can find it online. And on top of that, Madison Academy versus Mars Hill on Zone 2. That's going to be a wonderful matchup right there. Sparkman versus Spain Park. We're going to have to go 2 hours, get down to Birmingham. Me and Joe Hunk will be on the call on that one. Westminster and East Limestone on Zone 5. And Huntsville at Hazel Green on Talk Radio WZZN2. So make sure you guys download the apps. You're going to be able to listen to all of the games wherever you are in the easiest of ways possible. And don't let me forget this one over on Zone 3, Randolph versus West Morgan. That always is just a spark to start off the season for both of these squads. And joining us right now, right out the gates, is Randolph head coach David Lloyd on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, how you doing today?
Good, man. How about you guys?
Oh, we're doing
well.
Yeah, we're doing great. I don't think there's another week where we could be doing better, just because we are right next to the opening day of high school football in North Alabama. But, Coach, it's been a long off season. Talk about kind of the feelings that you're having, that the players are having going into tomorrow night.
Man, first, we're just thankful for the weather we've been having, man. Last year it was a heat wave and about 100 degrees, and we don't know what to do with ourselves when, the AC got turned on outside. So we greatly appreciate that. Man, we're just looking forward to tomorrow night. It's been a long time coming, and we're ready to get back on the field and get back into it and see a different color jersey across from us than the ones we see in practice. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and kind of getting into more of the specifics heading into West Morgan tomorrow. I mean, you got William Mitchell coming back, starting quarterback on offense, reigning Region 8 Offensive Player of the Year. Just kind of talk about how you've seen his development from the end of last season into the start of this one.
He's done such a tremendous job for us, and he's a first-year starter last year. Super talented, a little inexperienced last year. Did some really, really good things leading our offense for us, and just watching his growth from there to now. He's got such a command of our offense. Knows what we want to do. Can change the plays at the line of scrimmage to fit what we need. Does a great job back there pulling trigger for us, make sure everybody's lined up where they need to be. So just watching the maturity from him, his development over the course of the year, I think he's going to have a great season for us.
And we definitely look forward to that. And I got to say, he's looking good in that number 10. Of course, I wore the number 10 as a wide receiver at Franklin County up in Tennessee. But, you're talking about the development of your quarterback. I want to know a little bit of the behind the scenes of what you guys were really getting into this offseason. For me and the Bandyman, it felt like it kind of flew by, but I know how the process goes for the coaches, for the players. During the offseason, I mean, it's just a totally other season pretty much. Just you're not playing opponents every single week. Kind of just talk a little bit about that process and how you got some of these players developed.
Our summer strength program, strength and speed. Coach Gaunt does such a phenomenal job for us in the weight room and with anything we want to do out on the field. To kind of get their bodies ready and just to try to build better athletes. We try to compete as much as we can in different 7-on-7s or OTA throughout the summer. But really, we just try to get to position in practice and through summer workouts where we can compete and push each other. You're limited in what you can do with other teams. So we got to make sure that we just show up every day with the best ability that we can. We've got a lot of multiple sport athletes. A lot of kids play basketball, so they're competing throughout the month of June. In all of their basketball play dates. And then when they roll into us, they've just got that competitive mindset already going. and they're just trying to push each other in practice. So it's been a really good off season for us, and our guys are 100% bought in, and been one of the better summers we've had in terms of just turnout and what our guys are doing, and just the good days we've been able to stack.
Definitely some exciting stuff from Coach David Lloyd going into his 5th year as the Randolph Raiders head coach. The schedule looks kind of similar to last year. Of course, those tough opponents to start off the season. You got West Morgan and then Madison Academy. Both of these teams went extremely far into the postseason. Of course, with Madison Academy even making it to the state championship. Now they're also a part of the 4A Region 8 division. What's the process for you whenever you're kind of laying out this schedule, playing up against some of these tough opponents?
We just want to play tough teams. You're going to have to play tough teams in the playoffs, and to have a chance to beat really good football teams, I think you got to play really good football teams. We want to be pushed. We want to be challenged. And, we talk all the time about we'd rather make a run in the playoffs than our record look pretty at the end of the year. We'd rather be 5-5 and be battle tested and win a couple of playoff games than be 8-2 and get bounced in the first round because we didn't play anybody.
Yeah.
And thankfully we've got a lot of coaches that we've built relationships with that feel the same way. I think Coach Phillips would tell you the same thing. They want to play good football teams, and we want to know what type of football team we have before it's too late. So we've got West Morgan and Coach Phillips right off the bat. MA coming back up to 4A, being in our region, automatically makes that region tougher than you were. You've got Plainview that's coming up, and then we've got Pisgah as another non-region game who's currently ranked number 1 in 2A. So we play a lot of football teams that had a lot of wins on their schedule last year. I think it's the toughest schedule we've played since I've been here, and I think it's one of the tougher schedules in 4A. So we're excited about the opportunity.
Yeah, I was kind of looking through. I was going to kind of repeat that same sentiment. Like, this might be the toughest schedule Randolph's ever had. I mean, 3 top 10 teams in the first 6 weeks. And truly, I'm looking forward to being able to call this Raiders test. But also, it's like we've been talking about the returning starters as well. But how about the first years as well, getting their start as well, like George Newman, Garrison Ward, Walker Mitchell, William Mitchell's younger brother, and Will Perkins. Kind of talk about these guys and how you've seen them like coming to their own over the course of the offseason.
Right. Walker Mitchell's done such a great job for us, and he actually came in and played a little last year for us. So he got on the field some. He's had a really good summer. He had a great spring and a great spring game for us. George Newman, we're excited about getting him, and he's played a couple of positions for us. So, and he'll probably continue to do that. So just his versatility as a defensive player has really helped us out. He's made us stronger up front. Gives us a little bit of depth there. Will Perkins is a freshman, and he's going to see the field a lot. Defensively, and then be a key part of what we're trying to do offensively with building some depth. So we'll have a lot of young faces there, and thankfully we've got guys that have played a lot. Whether through they get to come in and kind of some mop-up duty action, or we've had some injuries and had to sit some guys, and those guys have had to come in and play for us. So we're real excited about our young guys and our guys that are getting their first shot. So we're looking forward to it. We know there are going to be some bumps in the road. Man, we're just excited about watching our team improve every week. We're just super proud of these guys.
Yeah, and we're right there with you, honestly, getting to see all of these teams, especially now on the HSS and network, where, we're going to have 6 teams playing this Friday, and that goes, you've heard them before. And I kind of want to know, for the people outside of the Randolph faithful, what do you give to those fans of high school football to kind of sway them over to Zone 3 and listen to your team play this season?
Well, we just think we play an exciting brand of football. Our home atmosphere is phenomenal. Cheer, dance, our band, our student section is great. Our guys play hard. We're just excited about it. This is our 3rd year being broadcast here, and we've done pretty well. We've been successful for the last couple of years, and that's a testament to the kids we have. How hard they work, how hard they play, the commitment they have, and especially when we're playing teams like West Morgan. They're such a great football team. They're well coached. They're very talented. I mean, to me, it's a playoff game week 1. Mm-hmm. So why wouldn't you want to tune in and listen to that? It'd be great football.
Exactly. definitely going to be some great football. Again, look forward to it tomorrow night against West Morgan, and then you look forward to the rest of the season, and we'll break it down later on. It is definitely going to be an intriguing one. But, Coach, great stuff from you. We're looking forward to tomorrow night. Of course, Bandiman is going to be on the call. He's going to get to see a little bit more of this team. I'll tell you what, from what I got to see of this squad just the other day when I stopped by, there's a lot of leaders on this team. They're really pushing each other, and I love to see that from a squad that is, coming from a region like yours where there's not going to be a bunch of kids on these football teams, but the kids that you got are going to be those quality guys that like to lead. Talk a little bit about that leadership before we get you out of here.
This senior class we've got a ton of leaders in the senior class. Noah Gaunt does such a great job at making sure our guys are on the right page and doing the right thing and playing with the right intensity. Graham Beatty does a phenomenal job of keeping our kids accountable when maybe they're giving less than their best effort. William Mitchell keeps such a level head back there and makes sure every guy's doing what they're supposed to. And Hunter Wiggins has really stepped into a leadership role for us and make sure that we're pushing each other in practice and doing things the right way. So we're really excited about the senior class and the leadership they're going to give us.
Heck yeah.
That end goal, first region championship for the Randolph Raiders. I mean, after finishing runner-up for the last 3 years, I'm kind of feeling it this year. Like, this is going to be the year that the Raiders get that region title.
Man, we're hoping so. It's getting kind of old being the runner-up. We've got an opportunity, but we know it's not going to be easy. It's a difficult road in front of us, and that's why you play games like West Morgan to start the year off. You can, see where you're at and what you need to work on and where you need to get better at. We don't have any time to rest after that. You get first region game is Madison Academy right out of the gate. So, we'll know a lot about our team after this week and going into the second week. But like I said, man, we're just super proud of our guys, and we're looking forward to getting on the field and just watching these guys grow and improve every week.
Randolph Raiders head coach David Lloyd has been our guest. David, we appreciate you, and we're looking forward to tomorrow, man.
Looking forward to it, man. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Good stuff from him. And make sure you guys listen to Randolph Raiders football. You're not going to want to miss it. Zone 3, Bandiman will be on the call. He'll be breaking it down for you, all of that good stuff. It's going to be another wonderful season to get into with Coach David Lloyd and those Raiders. We got to hop into a break. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit more about the rest of the high school slate that we got going down tomorrow. Again, 6 games to get into. There's quite a lot of intrigue around that. I'm very much excited. But we're also going to give you guys a little bit of a teaser. What's to come tomorrow and why you guys will need to get that phone number into your phone so you can call into the show. But that's what's coming up next when we get back here on the Morning Blitz.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Lowery & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Lowery & Company Jewelers on Airport Road. Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room.
And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
Hey folks, Bob Baumhauer here. We're extremely proud that Baumhauer's Victory Grill has been serving Alabama for 43 legendary years. Our motto is legendary fun, legendary food, and we strive to make every dining experience a special one for all of our guests. Our menu features delicious, always fresh and scratch-made in-house recipes. And of course, our award-winning wings and sauces. And don't forget, our happy hour and halftime daily specials cannot be beat. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon. Maybe a couple of us are going to get a rogue shower across the area. Most of us probably going to end up staying dry. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s. We're dropping into the mid and upper 60s as we head into the overnight, early into your Friday morning. A mostly to partly sunny sky Friday afternoon. We are going to be a little warmer and a little more humid across the area. Temperatures climbing into the lower 90s, dropping into the mid and upper 60s as we head into the overnight. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Hello and welcome back in to a Thirsty Thursday. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman, Bailey, and Lowery.
Okay, this can be in our rotator. I'm going to fight for Driftvale City.
Okay, you just put that in there. Do what you got to do. If you guys want to react to what Coach David Lloyd had to say to us and all of what we got going down tomorrow night, you can. 256-5764
97.7
is the number to get in. And remember that number, guys, because if you remember last year, we actually got into a little bit of the game shows on the Morning Blitz. And, well, college football is this week, meaning that the wacky underdog picks are back. Bandy, get the applause ready. We're going to have Georgia Tech versus Florida State, and you guys will be able to get in to get some points. Bandy, hit that button. So it's a little underwhelming whenever you – I gotta, yeah, there you go. Yeah. One more woo, please. Woo! Okay. You know, I wish the applause was still going. But either way, we're looking at a game that is going to be DJ U's first matchup against, in the ACC yet again, after, of course, his time at Clemson, and then he moves over to Oregon State. He comes back over to the east side of the country to play with this Florida State Seminole squad. And I got to admit, if, the hype was real back when he played for Clemson and he's kind of gotten everything figured out with the way that he's throwing, his decision-making, all of that, I think this Florida State team is going to be pretty freaking good. It's not Jordan Travis good, but it's still high-level football right there, and we're still waiting to see Jordan Travis in the NFL. Of course, he's playing on the New York Jets. Anybody forget about that? I know I was one of those guys that forgot about that. But this Florida State team is looking good, and right now Vegas is putting them at 15.5 points. So that means if you guys, which it's the only game you can hop in on unless we want to throw in some of those other matchups from the smaller schools that are playing tomorrow or this weekend, then you got one game to look at, and you're picking Georgia Tech. And if Georgia Tech wins and you're not in, then you're going to be a little bit behind. 12.5 points behind, to be exact.
Now, I'm just saying, too, just want you to sit back and think about it. Last Saturday was the last Saturday that we had without college football. It is a full slate.
I could that's what's going through my meditation in the mornings, Bandy. I talk to myself. I'm like, dude, football season's back. And I know
feels good to be back.
We've said it plenty of times. But if you guys don't know what the wacky underdog picks all consists of, here's the rules for you. You got to pick an underdog team on Fridays. You call in, tell us what team you're going to pick, and then, maybe tell us a little bit about it. Not too much. Tomorrow especially, don't tell us too much. We know you can only pick Georgia Tech against Florida State. There's not a lot of reason behind that. You just got to do it just in case they do win.
Yep.
It's a little test. It's week 0, all right? It's week 0 for a reason. But you guys will hop in, tell us what you're getting. Of course, Georgia Tech's going to be the team. You're going to have the possibility to get 12.5 points towards a prize at the end of the season. We'll probably also have a mid-season prize as well for whoever's leading, because I know last year we had somebody who was leading the entire time. And then at the end of the season, I think Natty Dan was the one that just came out of nowhere, and he stole the prize at the end, which good on him. That's a respectable victory for him. One of the few that he has, at least with that Natty Dan name that he's got. I'm just kidding. Michigan's not going to get that thing taken away, all right? They're not going to get it taken away. Just a lot of people, being skeptical about it.
But how about the two-peat?
The two-peat, that's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, I think that, Georgia's got a good chance. You look down the list, Ohio State, Oregon. I mean, those are the teams you're going to be looking at. When it comes to Michigan, they lose too much on the offense and the defense to the NFL, to the transfer portal. And, of course, you got Alex Orji as a quarterback who's been kind of a second-string dude behind, of course, J.J. McCarthy and some other guys throughout his times with this team. And, of course, he's going to bring some multifaceted weapons to this team. He's going to be able to run the ball a little bit himself. So we're not going to see too much of a difference. It's going to be Donovan Edwards and Alex Orji running the ball all over the place. The passing game, probably not going to really need to be there. But, of course, you know who else is there? Their head coach, Jim Harbaugh. He's off doing willy-nilly with the Chargers right now, trying to hire Colin Kaepernick as a coordinator, and that's not the most questionable thing he's got going down over there. Either way, Bandy, we also got some new quarterbacks to look forward to, not only in the NFL, because we did get a list of starters. Of course, Jaden Daniels for the Washington Commanders, Caleb Williams for the Chicago Bears, and on top of that, Bo Nix was actually announced a starter for the Denver Broncos, making him the second quarterback that is a rookie to start in the season opener behind the one and only Hall of Famer, John Elway. Big stuff right there.
Yeah.
For a guy that, couldn't get it done at Auburn, and then goes all the way over to Oregon. He's able to revitalize his career, showing the excitement and the reason behind having a transfer portal as we do, and able to kind of, shoot that into the NFL. Now he's starting on a Denver Broncos squad that the last time we saw this much hype behind a quarterback on that team was Tim Tebow. And let me tell you, Bo Nix plays the game a little bit prettier than one Mr. Tim Tebow, because if you remember those 2010, 2012, seasons, that was an ugly Broncos squad that was able to kind of churn out victories like it was nobody's problem. But there's a reason why Tim Tebow didn't make it in the NFL, and it's the way that he played, the way that the Broncos had to organize their team for it.
I need to pull up that clip of Skip Bayless just going like, man, I'd take him over Tom Brady.
Oh, jeez. Who?
Tim Tebow.
Oh, my gosh. That was a hot take. That take is on fire right now. But no, Bo Nix, I like the way this guy plays. I think he might be the most successful quarterback out of this rookie class. And that's saying a lot because, again, Jaden Daniels, he's got the feet. He's got the arm. He can do both. He can do everything. Caleb Williams, this kid's a magician, almost like Patrick Mahomes was when he entered into the league. And now it's just, are these guys going to be able to put it into play? But on the other hand, we look over to the college scene, and you guys might not be up to date with every single team. There's 134 of them. It's not like the NFL where there's only 32, but there's a lot of change going on with the quarterback position, quarterback battles. All of your favorite teams have different dudes starting for them, including Ohio State, who announced that Will Howard will be starting for this squad, which I will say this, if you guys are playing college football 25 and you have Ultimate Team and you're still not too far into that, every single team you play against has Will Howard as the quarterback. And you'll see so many number 18s that you're kind of sick of it until, you finally start moving forward in the ranks on Ultimate Team. Will Howard's good, though. This guy is a bruiser. He is an intense runner, and I love the way that he plays the game. He had a lot of success at K-State, but now he's on Ohio State. And honestly, the sky is the limit for this young man. On top of that, USC named Miller Moss as their starting quarterback. He was the guy that, of course, played behind Caleb Williams. He was backed up the entire way through. And then we finally got to see a little bit of him during that bowl game last season where he was able to throw for like 372 yards and just be absolutely insane, lights out. And that's something that USC wants to continue to have. A good offense and then, a defense in parentheses. That's what I like to say for that squad over there. Going to South Carolina, Lenoris Sellers is underway. This is the guy with the glasses, rocking the number 16. He's 6'3", 242 pounds. He's an anomaly. We don't know exactly what he's going to give this South Carolina Gamecocks team, but I know it's going to be interesting. It's not Spencer Rattler, but it is a big quarterback that should make this South Carolina team just a little bit more competitive in the 2024 season, even though I'm not really looking at them too highly. Nebraska, of course, Dylan Raiola gets the start. Of course, we had a lot of conversation about him as he moved over from, was it Georgia? He moved over from Georgia to play for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. This guy, still very young, not a lot of experience, but playing for this Nebraska team, it should at least get some fans inside the stadium, and they should have something to look forward to. On top of that, over in the ACC, Duke has named Malik Murphy their starting quarterback. Played at Texas last year, of course, behind Quinn Ewers. He's a little bit more of that multi-versatile quarterback. He could run the ball, he could throw the ball, and of course, he looks good doing it, and it should be a totally different offense for the Duke Blue Devils. Of course, Riley Leonard is not over at that squad anymore because he's over in Notre Dame. I'm going to tell you this much. I like Leonard. I think he's a decent pocket passing quarterback, but I'd take Malik Murphy over Riley Leonard. So Duke might have an even better season this year than they did last season, despite losing a few guys to the transfer portal. Wisconsin names Tyler Van Dyke as their starting quarterback. Remember him, man? He played for Miami, threw a lot of interceptions. Wisconsin, good luck. And I move on to SMU as, of course, they named their starting quarterback, who I've honestly never heard of before, even though he was the guy last year as well at some points, but it's Preston Stone. For whatever reason, I'm talking about SMU. Bandy actually comes up and he actually says the name like it was just on the top of his head. Like, I know who Preston Stone is. Bandy, was that you? You were just like, well, Preston Stone.
Yeah.
You said that?
Joe Preston Stone.
How much do you know about this guy?
Not a lot. I just know his name.
He knows his name. It's a cool name. I mean, he's as hard as a rock. Or a stone.
Kind of rolls off the tongue like a Peyton Thorne.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong with that. Preston Stone. Really cool stuff right there. And then I go through the rest of the list, and the one team that really sticks out to me is going to be this Boise State squad. Oh, my gosh. Talk about awkward. I don't think it's like, too big of a deal. We talked plenty about the 5-star prospect, Malachi Nelson, as he transferred over to this Boise State team in hopes that he would start.
Yeah, not going to be talking about him much anymore.
Oh, my gosh. You move over to, the Mountain West and the MAC or whatever, and you're not able to start on this squad for Boise State. That's whenever it's like, okay, you know what? I got a little bit of growing to do. And Maddox Madsen, who sounds like a totally fake name, is actually going to be the guy to get the start on this squad. Used to play at UCL, played at Boise State last season, shared a couple of the reps with, of course, Taylon Green, who is now on the Arkansas Razorbacks, who I think very highly of, and I probably got his name wrong anyway, kind of like Steve Sarkisian. But again, Boise State, if you're going to have a quarterback, you're going to bring in a 5-star, and then you say, hey, how about we just make the 3-star, the former 3-star, the quarterback? That's something that is definitely going to turn some heads and get some eyes on this Broncos squad as we look forward to seeing how long will it be? How long will it take until Malachi Nelson does get that starting position over there out west? Bandy, we got to hop into a break. When we get back, we're turning the tide over to a little bit of the golfing scene. And I'm looking very much forward to it with our good guest, Jonathan Liggett from Cherokee Ridge Country Club, as he sets us up for the BMW Championship over in Colorado. That's what's coming up next when we get back here on the Morning Blitz.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Check out VSiN's catalog of original podcasts, daily and weekly programming to keep you in the know when you're on the go. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
A handful of college football games getting underway this weekend, both in Division I and in the FCS. This Saturday from Dublin, Ireland, it's number 10, Florida State, taking on Georgia Tech. The Seminoles are a 10.5-point favorite with Georgia Tech at plus 360 on the money line. New Mexico now a 12-point underdog at home against Montana State. The Lobos plus 360 on the money line. Nevada Wolfpack plus 1,500 on the money line. They're a 25-point underdog at home against SMU. Hawaii is favored by 40 at home when they take on Delaware State. That's the VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. I'm Chuck Sanders.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Embark on a flavorful journey at the Brewers Cooperative. Located within the vibrant community hub of Stovehouse in Huntsville, our brewery isn't just about crafting exceptional beers. It's a destination where culinary delights and local brews harmonize. Whether you're seeking a laid-back lunch or a lively dinner with friends, our diverse menu has something to please every palate. With a commitment to quality and a passion for innovation, we invite you to savor the unique flavors of Huntsville's craft beer scene at the Brewers Cooperative. Call 256-678-7036. The Brewers Cooperative.
It's time to get ready for game day. That means Alabama football and tailgating. Whether you're tailgating at home or at Bryant-Denny, visit Brooks & Collier for North Alabama's largest selection of premium grills and smokers like Big Green Egg, Blaze, Delta Heat, Memphis, and Traeger. Satisfy any palate with our wall of rubs and seasonings. For all your tailgating needs, visit Brooks & Collier at 813 Meridian Street or at brooksandcollier.com. An Alabama tradition for over 75 years. Roll Tide.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon. Maybe a couple of us are going to get a rogue shower across the area. Most of us probably going to end up staying dry. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s. We're dropping into the mid and upper 60s as we head into the overnight, early into your Friday morning. A mostly to partly sunny sky Friday afternoon. We are going to be a little warmer and a little more humid across the area. Temperatures climbing into the lower 90s, dropping into the mid and upper 60s as we head into the overnight. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From Coleman to Fayetteville and all points in between.
Son, pull the hammer back. Smokey's coming at you in a plain white wrapper.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text STREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape. Absolutely free. Text STREAK to 321-321. That's STREAK to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
It's such a futuristic opening, but then it gets it's like that mixtape you're handed at like Chattanooga or something like that. The 2 or 3 guys walking on the street like,
oh no, you're not gonna disrespect Lil Wayne like that.
I mean, the beat is just so generic. Anyway, welcome back to the Morning Blitz, Johnny.
That's where the generic beats come from.
Yeah, I guess so, Bandy. Either way, we got a lot of stuff.
The generic beats wish they were Lil Wayne.
I'll just leave it at that.
We got John on the line.
We got John on the line. We'll get to him here in a second because the one thing you guys don't forget about whenever football season starts is golf, just because it is a totally different vibe that we'd like to, relax with and get to listen to. But before we do that, I'd like to remind you that this show is presented by the wonderful people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com. And remember that Fleming always shows up. Now, they won't help your golf game, but the one and only John Liggett from Cherokee Ridge Country Club definitely can, and he is on the Neighbors Wealth Management hotline. John, how you doing today, brother?
I'm good, brother, man. I'm good. It feels like I'm walking into a WWE SmackDown versus Raw with that song coming on, and like the lights were flashing. So, I thought you said leave it at that, but I've been dying laughing, almost crying.
Okay.
That entire conversation.
I'm so sorry.
That was a good one, man. That was hilarious.
Well, I'm glad you're already in good spirits getting onto the show, and it's great to have you back on that regular schedule, getting you on at 9:30 on Thursdays for the little bit of John that we all need in our lives. But we got the BMW Championship this week, and I know you might want to talk a little bit about the FedEx St. Jude Championship last week, as we got to see a little bit of Matsuyama get the dub in that one, where Scotty Scheffler, still a very big challenger. Kind of just break down that one real quick. Who won, who you liked, and then get into a little bit of this week's BMW Championship.
Absolutely. So, of course, Hideki last week bringing in that FedEx Cup St. Jude. The first 3 rounds, immaculate. The last round, just playing real good course management there. Just having an even par all day. But Hideki, definitely going to want to watch him this week. And that's what's fun about these last 3 weeks of the PGA is you can't really be like, oh, yeah, this guy's going to win. Oh, yeah, this guy's going to win. Because Hideki wasn't even in my radar last week. And here he is. He's a smooth, even par and still winning the FedEx Cup St. Jude. But Hideki is definitely going to be someone to note for coming up next week. We'll talk about him. But Xander, he's the big one from last week. A 7 under to bring his stuff all the way back up to tied second with Victor Hovland at a 15 under. And that's huge, especially when it comes to FedEx Cup and getting those points, getting that extra money from all those sponsors at the end of the year. And again, we'll touch on Xander again for this BMW because he's outrageous. Okay. But what I want to get down to in last week is a little bit down the list. We have Nick Dunlap. We have Mr. Nick Dunlap. And why he is clutch right now and why I keep bragging on him. I said he's going to be an absolute great player. It's his rookie year. He's already experiencing these nerves. He already has 2 dubs under his belt. And here he is. I think he was talking about it sometime this last week about 17 and 18, coming up on 17 and 18, how he handled that pressure in the FedEx Cup last week. And he said that's probably the most nervous he's ever been on a golf course in his entire life. He said he could barely hit the ball. Wow. He said it's blacking out up there, but that's how insane and how nerve-wracking these tournaments are. And for someone, or I'm not just someone, but these players that come in here and shoot what they do under this amount of pressure, it's insane. It's incredible to watch. But last week it was at TPC Southwind in Memphis, Tennessee. If you didn't watch it or you didn't get to see highlights, definitely go check that out. It's a beautiful course. But this week, guys, we're reeling it in, okay? We're reeling it in. We're going up very high elevation to Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
Denver, Colorado to Castle Pines. And why this course is amazing, why I am very excited for this week. You know why? Because they call this the Augusta in the mountains, okay? This is another Jack Nicklaus design, but it's absolutely incredibly beautiful, okay? It has pretty much the same decor as Augusta. It's got the flower beds on side of greens with creeks that run in front, tight fairways, and it's green. Okay, it's up here. It's in Denver, Colorado. You can't get any better weather for some golf.
Yeah, you can't get any greener either. It's Colorado, bro.
Yes, of course, exactly, and that's exactly why golf and everything around is coming together this week at the BMW Championship. Okay, so what is so awesome about this week and why it's going to be extremely fun to watch, okay? And if you watch any other golf besides just TV golf, okay, or play, you'll know that elevation change is going to be one of the trickiest things to figure out when it comes to how far the ball is going to fly, the spin rate, all of this good stuff. And so this week, there's 325 feet of elevation change, okay? Whoa. That's insane. Ooh. And not only that are you going up and down, you're 6,000 feet up in the air, I think it was, or 6,500 feet up in the air in elevation. So the ball, they say a 300-yard drive probably going to go about 332, 330.
Colorado's wacky.
I need to play there, man. I feel like I'm actually getting somewhere in my swing.
I mean, you get to play at the Legends every once in a while. That's like half of what we're talking about right now with the Castle Pines.
No, it's absolutely insane. And like I said, if you watch any other golf, maybe on YouTube or play it, you know that is extremely, extremely hard to judge. So I think this week's going to be a little bit of a weird prediction for me. Okay, this week the players is going to be really important, but it's the caddies. Okay, the caddies. It's going to be extremely important for these caddies to come out and get information prior to this tournament, because there's a lot of holes downhill, uphill. There's a hole that's 532 yards uphill, 30 feet uphill, par 4, but it plays 480 and it's uphill. So this course is going to be extremely tricky for these guys to play, and it's going to be extremely tricky for these caddies, because these caddies have to be almost exact on some of these numbers, because if it's a little too far, a little too much spinny, a little too much of a high shot catches that wind, that elevation flies, it's done for in the hole. So it's going to be, I think, going to come down to some of the caddies for this week. But what I am going to say, I have a couple guys in mind this week, and the one I want to start with, is the one Mr. Nick Dunlap. And why I want to put him first, because it's going to be extremely hard for him this week to get a top 5. Okay, we're talking top 30 in the entire, or top 50 in the entire PGA coming together to play one of the toughest courses, in my opinion, because it's like I said, elevation is super tricky, and I think he has to make at least the top 5 to advance to the Tour Championship, and that's going to be extremely hard. Okay, like I said, you got Xander, you got Scotty, you got Hideki, you got all these guys, especially you got Rory. Even though he can't win a major in 10 years, he still can win the FedEx Cup. Okay. I think he won it back in 2022, and then Victor Hovland grabbed it last year. So it's going to be really exciting to watch this week. So you're definitely going to watch Nick Dunlap and then Xander, guys. I want to hop on him. He's the main guy I want to watch this week. He hasn't had outside of the top 15 in 4 months. Okay. He has 3 tournaments, only 3 that are outside of top 15. Everything else is type 15s or better. That's insane. This guy is going crazy this year. Like I said, a 7 under in the last round of a FedEx Cup playoff tournament like that, you get that's something you can't ignore. You have to note that. So Xander is somebody you're gonna want to watch coming into this week. And then on top of that, you can't throw out Hideki. Okay, he hasn't had a spectacular year, but last week he showed us he still has what it's got, and that first place boosted him way up in the points. Got, I think, in 2,000 FedEx Cup points. He's in 3rd now, right behind Xander. So it's going to be extremely fun to watch this week. It's going to be very competitive, and we want Mr. Nick Dunlap. Okay, guys. If anything, if you're from Huntsville, go support him. Okay. Yeah. This guy's a rookie, and he's in the FedEx Cup playoffs and top 50 in the PGA, guys. Come on. Let's go get this guy, support this guy. Let's get him in top 5.
I love whenever you bring up Nick Dunlap. It's always a great story to hear a little bit about his journey to where he's at now. And I was expecting a little bit more of those oddball picks, honestly, just because of how interesting of a course it is. You know, if you're relying a little bit more on the caddies, it's less about the player's skill and more about really where you're going to put the ball, what club you're going to use, and all of the intricacies that we look at with golf. So I was wondering, just give us one. I know the names that you're throwing out, even Nick Dunlap. Yeah, they're guys that you talk about quite often. Okay. Is there a name that you could throw out that might surprise us this weekend?
Okay. I mean, it's still a big name. I haven't brought him up in a little bit. He's been kind of out of the picture, but he's still here, obviously, in the top 50.
BDR. Sorry. My bad. Go with it.
No, it's good. It's good. Ricky Fowler. I mean, is he even playing this week? I don't think so.
I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, I don't think Ricky Fowler's been playing this week. So, I mean, if BDR's in a tournament, you've got to know I'm going to bring him up, okay? You know I'm one of his biggest fans. But Ludwig Gabber, okay? He's 3rd in driving distance, okay? And we know from 2 or 3 months ago, his up and down, his scrambling, he's been in the top 5 for the past month. We know he's going to be good. And like you said, John, prior to what I was talking about, all this little intricate stuff in the game, like course management with the caddies, stuff like that. Ludwig's one of those young guys. It's going to come down to, yes, the caddy is going to be important, like you said, or like I said, but less skill of the player. But course management is going to be one of those big things. And I have to say Ludwig as an oddball because his scrambling is one of the best. And this is one of those courses where if you're not on the green, you got some tough rough, and his up and downs are magnificent, especially from greenside bunkers. So I would say that would be the other oddball I throw out. But if we're going to throw one that no one's ever heard before, let's go with Siwoo Kim, okay? I haven't talked about him in a long time. Siwoo Kim has climbed up the ranks in the FedEx Cup, and Siwoo Kim, okay, this guy is Korean, okay? They're smart. These are courses that are going to be extremely suitable for them since they hit it so straight and accurate with their smooth and tempoed swings. I throw Siwoo Kim out there to probably fire out a good 15 to 20 under this week, just because of how accurate and stable he is on the course with this course management.
I thought you were about to say just because he's Korean. But
you
guys got five picks that John just threw at you guys. I mean, if you're out of the Alabama area, you're able to bet on this. If not, you're able to drive your car up to Tennessee or something like that and put down some money at least on those 5 picks. Because if you guys have ever listened to John as he's on this show, he does throw out some heat. And Siwoo Kim, right now, he is leading it. So obviously there's a lot of the field to go, but it's not a bad take.
I will say, Scotty Scheffler hasn't teed off yet.
Oh, that's whenever it's over. That's when it's over. That's whenever anybody who was playing before.
Scotty's like the ace of the cards, dude. It's like you always know he's going to be on top.
Yeah.
But he's like plus 100 because he's so good. Everyone thinks he's going to win. I mean, it's Scotty. So it's it's one of those things. But yes, sir, it's going to be extremely fun to watch this week. And if you're even not a golf fan, even just tune in just to look at the course. Yeah. It's absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful stuff. Good stuff from you, John. Let the people know where they can find you over at Cherokee Ridge.
Absolutely, brother. You can find me down at Union Grove, Alabama, 20 minutes south of Huntsville at Cherokee Ridge Country Club. We do private lessons, myself and Rob Taylor. We have an academy. We do anything to ladies clinics to kids clinics. So definitely come on out. We'll get you right. And the course is in great shape and the tee sheets are filling up. So come get you one before we run out.
All right, good deal. I'm going to have to sign up before it's too late. Good stuff from you, John.
Boys, be good over 97.6.
Good stuff from Jonathan Liggett from Cherokee Ridge Country Club, giving you guys all you need to know about this week's BMW Championship. Of course, right now, Siwoo Kim is leading this thing with a bunch of all over the place names. I'm going to be honest. John was not wrong about this course being a little bit interesting. And you never know what's going to happen with the winner of this. It'll be somebody that you will not even be thinking about. But John just gave you 5 that you could probably get a little bit closer to. Then, if you're not listening to the show. We got to hop into a break. When we get back, we're going to close out this Thirsty Thursday into No Man's Land here on the Morning Blitz.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked the reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
Looking for your next adventure to be out of this world but don't have enough money to buy a spaceship and leave orbit? Well, look no further than Divergence VR theme park off of Governor's Drive Southwest in Huntsville, Alabama. Are zombies more your style? How about driving your favorite cars on the world's fastest track? Or maybe a gorilla game that has you climbing up tall trees to escape other gorillas? Wait, that's actually a thing? Huh. Would you look at that? For whatever adventure you can dream of, call 256-203-4128 to get your VR adventure started now. Welcome back to the Morning Blitz. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery.
Hey.
Had a lot of fun on this Thirsty Thursday edition of the show. Of course, earlier on, we talked with Coach David Lloyd from the Randolph Raiders about his squad. Then we hopped into a little conversation with Jonathan Liggett, and also, of course, the college football, the NFL talk, everything we throw at you on the daily for 1 hour straight of the most energetic talk on the station. Let's hop into the phone lines real quick before we get out of here. Jeremy is on with us. Jeremy, how you doing today, brother?
I'm good, man. Honor of high school football.
Woo!
Yes, sir.
I'm so pumped. I'm glad football started. What's the surprise team? Who do y'all think the surprise team is?
Surprise team. I mean,
that's just going to come out of it, and you're just going to be like, whoa.
Huh.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I gotta go with the Raiders with Randolph. Not really as like a surprise, but I mean, with just how tough their schedule is and how many top. I mean, they're playing 3 top 10 teams in the first 6 weeks of their schedule. On top of playing they're playing Pisgah later on in the year, who's a top ranked team in 2A, like Coach Lloyd was saying. I mean, they come out of this schedule, they go into the playoffs with, I mean, maybe like 1-2 losses under their belt. I mean, that is insanely good.
Yeah, I will say go with Madison Academy just because the surprise that we got to see last year. I'm just going to follow them and see if they can follow it up with another surprise season. I mean, they made it to the state championships. I mean, that's no slouch. And now they're going into the 4A region yet again. That's going to be very tough for them. But at the same time, I mean, this is team. This is a team that has, always been facing off against tougher squads, and they've still been able to find victory. So I go with them. But, I mean, you're not going to be wrong with any of the teams you listen to on our station.
Well, how about let's move it into the college then.
Okay.
Who's going to be the team? Let me take it to this. Who's going to be the Coastal Carolina or the Liberty?
Ooh.
So we're talking about small teams doing big things.
You think Jacksonville State's got a chance for that this year again?
I think that they're going to be able to follow it up. I don't see why they would not be able to. But with all of the intrigue around teams transfer or moving over to different conferences, I'm going to tell you this. SMU is going to be the team to watch. Coming over and joining the ACC. This has got to be one of the better teams in the ACC altogether. I mean, they're going to challenge even like Florida State. I mean, the only other team out there is Clemson, North Carolina. What are you going to get from Clemson? Cade Kublik throwing like 17 interceptions? What are you going to get from NC? A mediocre season similar to what we see from Notre Dame almost every single year. But then SMU is going to come in there, of course, with their quarterback that we talked about earlier, Preston Stone. And I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. But, of course, that is an ACC squad. It's not a little team like Jackson State.
Cristobal and the Miami Hurricanes might have a little something to say about it.
Okay.
But
keep forgetting about Miami.
But if SMU beats Miami.
You think we could see SMU Miami in the championship game at the end of the year? You think that would be a good side bet or prop bet to put down?
I don't know about putting money on it, but seeing that at the end of the year, I'm not gonna lie. Now that you brought up that situation, like now that you brought it up into our imaginations, I kind of want to see it happen.
Bandy, I'm going to say this, all right? And this is for you too, Jeremy. I don't think Florida State's going to miss out on that championship game. I don't think they will. I think that's too good of a team to kind of write off. So I think SMU does have a chance, and Miami does have a chance, depending on how they want to kind of dictate their own season. We saw them lose to Georgia Tech last year in the dumbest of ways. But I can't say that Florida State's going to get left out of that, especially with DJU coming in.
Well, the 1990s version of myself, knowing that, if I went back to the 90s and said, hey, SMU Miami is going to be in the same conference, you'd be like, oh my gosh, that's going to be awesome, because how many years has everybody wanted to see this game? I don't care if it's regular season or in a championship game. I think you're going to have a lot of talk. ESPN's going to run a lot of the 30 for 30s that week about Miami and SMU, and you're going to get a lot of nostalgia when that game happens.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff from you, Jeremy. Appreciate you calling in.
Thanks, guys. See y'all.
SMU still being in the ACC is quite a different college football world. I don't think they're getting paid for it either. I think they're going to make all their money from concessions. They don't play Miami this season, so they would have to face off in that final game. But they do play against Florida State. They do face off against the number 10 team in the country. September 28th. Look forward to that one. It's going to be huge. Other than that, though, SMU season, not too competitive. This team could go on and win almost every single one of their games. For me and the Bandiman, we're going to get out of here. We got high school football tomorrow on the airways. We'll see you guys then on the Morning Blitz.
It's the dawning of a new age in Tuscaloosa.
I understand what Alabama football is all about. Roll time.
Join the Crimson Tide as the Kalen DuBois era begins. Touchdown! Join us Saturday, August 31st as the Crimson Tide kick off the 2020